Namaste, angels. This will be our Aries full moon reading. There's so many things going through my head about what might happen. I hope I remember to mention them all. One was that as I was shuffling the angel tarot, I saw a lot of earth. And what came through from that was Saturn. So like earth specifically having to do with Capricorn. And then I pivoted from that to the fact that the Pluto retrograde is in Capricorn. Yes, Pluto went direct finally on the 28th of September. So again, hopefully that alleviated many of, you know, those of us who were like being held back by Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation, but as it was going backward, it seemed that it was preventing those transformations. Like people wanted to, and they just couldn't do what they needed to do to change or to release things from their life that, you know, with which they no longer wanted to deal. It happened at 11:17 a.m. That's my mother's birthday. She's a Scorpio. She's ruled by Pluto. So I thought that was cool. Anyway, it's in retrograde now. Well, it's been in retrograde. It's in shadow now, rather, and will be in shadow until January 18th, 19 degrees Capricorn. So I think that that is what the cards were trying to tell me thus far. And I don't know how it's going to turn up, if at all, in the spreads, but I wanted you guys to know that. Also, I was moved to pull out my Gods and Titans deck in order to pull an advice card for the masculine, for which I will read from the book to give you not just an intuitive meaning, but the meaning that the author intended. And I was really like pushed. And as a matter of fact, they were out on my table, and I haven't used these cards and I can't tell you how long, but they were suddenly like next to me. So we're going to be using these. And as I was shuffling them, I'm beginning with Anubis protection. And I think that's the first one to which I came, but I also opened to Aries war. There was another one. There was something like a perseverance type of card, I think. See, I knew I wasn't going to remember all these things. In any case, the conclusion that I come to with regard to the masculine is this period is going to be about protection of his desires and goals and the union itself, all of that. And maybe even like combative, like going to war for it with somebody. Or going to war against somebody, yeah, for it. So with that, I'm going to use my Goddess Oracle as well for the feminine to pull an advice card for her. And I came to Isis Mothering. It's the first card to which I opened right away, boom. And as you can see, she has remained here. But prior to that, early this morning, I was moved to bring one of my Isis statues over here. I had candles here, a few candles. I only have one candle up now because I was moved to bring mother close to me. So I want my mommy. So here she is, Isis. And then she showed up in the card. So I don't know what that may mean, other than the fact that, you know, of course, Isis, Venus, same thing, Queen of Air, Queen of Swords. So maybe in that sense. But perhaps others as well. And because my readings always align, I think this turned up. Aww, the sun. Wait a minute. I don't know if you guys saw that just now. I have to get this card. Hang on. Okay, so trying to pick up my energy oracle cards, with which I tend to begin at least whenever I do a moon reading. I'm starting with Jesus, healer of the ages. Those of you who saw the love reading know that it was the love reading. Yes. Know that Jesus, as the universal heart, turned up as a representation, a signifier, yes, for the masculine, right? Representing the masculine. So he's here again. But as I try to pick up the deck just now, look what fell away. The sun. Jesus, the sun. So yeah, I think that this is and I also was feeling something about Leos, and I know that this is the Aries, so it's fire, that element, but it's not Leo. But I just feel it's going to be a really good time for Leos. And that would include rising and ascendant. Don't ask me why yet. Maybe it'll come to me as we do the reading. What else? I came to Jesus again here too. I ended up on relationship, but at one point I was Jesus opposite relationship. I thought maybe it would happen again, but no, celebration. This is close. This is the Pentecostal dove. And I don't remember what I wanted to say about the spiritual growth, because that was something too. Oh, yeah. I had the feeling as I was shuffling these that the spiritual growth in great part has to do with like our friendship with the universe, our relationship with the universe. Yeah. I don't know how else to say what it was that came to mind. Yeah, friendship with the universe, a relationship with the universe. So, okay, that we might see evidence of these things turning up here. And for me, they already align with my general weekly readings and the love weekly reading. Also, to recap, so on October 5th, I had posted this on my Facebook earlier. Venus is conjunct Mars, also at 19 degrees. So we have that Pluto at 19 degrees Capricorn, and we have Venus conjunct Mars at 19 degrees Virgo. So I posted that was about the mother, father, and son for me. And of course, plus the Aries full moon is on the 5th, and it's the first day of Sukkot, which I also discussed in the general reading. Then I was moved to look up significant events, and I haven't gone over any of these with you guys since my last daily, right? And I had started the whole process and set everything up to do dailies by prescription, and then I felt myself being, by prescription, subscription rather, I felt myself being moved to use my energy, at least right now, primarily for divine light cleanse. I mean, I'm still doing readings, obviously, for both free for the collective and paid, personal readings. I'm still doing that. But the divine light cleanses and all the healings that I do, they take a lot of energy out of me. And and more and more people were needing them. And it seemed like needing them right now, like to cross the finish line, so to speak. Like they were, against the wall. They were hitting a wall, a plateau, and they couldn't go any further in their lives, their unions, and all this stuff. And so there were a lot of people needing right now the divine light cleanse. And I guess this is the way, it's playing out. Makes sense with what's written. It aligns with what's written. And so I've been focusing on that. But those of you who've been watching me for a while know that I used to go over significant events every day. So I'm not going to go into them in detail, but I was just moved to see what else happened on October 5th. So I will let you know what that is. In the year 1582, the Gregorian calendar was introduced in Italy and other Catholic countries. So 1582, the first year we were using that. 1789, French Revolution. Women of Paris marched to Versailles in what's now called the March of Versailles to confront Louis XVI about his refusal to promulgate the decrees on the abolition of feudalism. And they demand, so feudalism is like it's not slavery. I don't want to compare this, especially not slavery that was experienced in the United States. It's nowhere close, but it is, it was a servitude, feudalism. And so maybe this Louis XVI, I don't know who he was. Maybe he was a feudal lord. He may have been a king. He may have been both. So they wanted to abolish it the same way, again, slavery was abolished. These women were marching to abolish feudalism. They were demanding bread, and they have the king and his court moved to Paris. So it sounds like they were very successful. 1813, which equals 13 or 4 or 1111, is the Battle of Thames, Thames, in Canada. The Americans defeat the British. 1864, most of Calcutta is destroyed by a cyclone. 60,000 people die. 1922, which is also 4 or 1111, the Yankees and the Giants play an infamous game, 3-3, They are tied for a World Series. 1947, Harry Truman makes the first presidential address televised from the White House. 1962, the Beatles released their first record, Love Me Do. Oh, speaking of records, that was something else. As I was getting ready to start, I was working on something, and then all of a sudden I was moved to pay attention and listen. And from somewhere else in my house, I could hear this song playing, Soldier Boy. My little soldier boy, like, I will wait for you. And then I saw the card with the Aries war. And I always picture us all, not just the masculine, but it's all as soldiers. But that was what I got from that. That we're all, it's a period of all of us persevering. As a matter of fact, I said this earlier, also on my Facebook. I was having a conversation with one of my friends slash clients slash subscribers. And she was asking me something about her divine masculine, actually, and how this would play into his chart. And I'm laughing now because I'm thinking he's a Leo. And I just said I was feeling good things for Leo. So there's her answer. Anyway, when we're having this conversation is when it came to me that for me, this full moon is going to be like the 9 of fire, right? 9 of wands, that kind of keep pushing, that warrior spirit. Don't give up. Protect what's yours. Protection, like the Anubis card. But also 8 of Pentacles and reaping what we've sown, receiving rewards for our work, for our efforts, and for what we've planted. It is, in fact, the harvest moon. Now, it's not always the harvest moon, this October full moon, but it is this year because it's the closest this year to the autumn equinox. So that's what makes the moon the harvest moon. Okay, so anyway, 1962, Dr. No is the first James Bond film, and it's based on the novel by Ian Fleming, and it stars Sean Connery. Also Ursula Andress, and it premieres in London. 1978, over 30 major nations ratify the Environmental Modification Convention, which prohibits weather warfare that has widespread, long-lasting, severe effects. That's a long time ago to have been fighting for the environment. I like it. Did you know Monty Python's Flying Circus begins airing on the BBC on October 5th in the year 1969? Famous birthdays include Chester A. Arthur, Robert H. Goddard, Ray Kroc, Bob Geldof, Patrick Roy, and Kate Winslet. Would you believe? The Saxby Gale, a strong hurricane, devastates the Bay of Fundy region of maritime Canada on this date. The storm is predicted through astronomy in December in 1868, and it happened in 1869 on October 5th. It was predicted by British naval officer Stephen Martin Saxby using astronomy. And famous deaths: Charles Cornwallis, Tecumseh, Rodney Dangerfield, Fred Shuttlesworth, and Steve Jobs. And with that, I will go to the Farmer's Almanac to see what else we can learn about this particular full moon for October 2017. This year, the full moon is also a harvest moon, as I was just mentioning of my own accord. And they have where you can find out why by logging on to almanac.com. And you can get other moon information there as well. October full moon names. October's moon rises just after sunset and sets around sunrise. So this is the only night in the month when the moon is in the sky all night long. Some Native American tribes referred to the October full moon as the full hunter's moon, as it was the time to go hunting in preparation for winter. This full moon is also called the travel moon and the dying grass moon. Harvest moon 2017. This year, the October full moon is also a harvest moon. That's because it's the full moon closest to the northern hemisphere's autumnal equinox. Around the harvest moon, the moonrise happened soon after sunset for several evenings in a row, which traditionally allowed farmers to have much more light to finish their harvest. And you can check out more about that also on the site. Moon facts and folklore. Corn planted under a waning moon grows slower but yields larger ears. Babies born a day after the full moon enjoy success and endurance. And a new moon in your dreams promises increased wealth or a happy marriage. And one of my clients, subscribers, was commenting the other day on one of those readings that she had a dream about a full moon. So this is a dream about a new moon. Hopefully the full moon also promises wonderful things when you dream about it. All right, so last, astrology. And I went over this in the general reading as well at length, but a recap. So beginning with today, of course, again, the full moon. And I guess that was it for astrology. Well, I already told you about the 19 degrees Virgo, Venus and Mars conjunction. So that's the other thing for the 5th. On the 10th, finally, Jupiter in Scorpio. Those of you who watch me know I've been waiting for this for a while because my personal Jupiter is in Scorpio. And I've been waiting for the planet of expansion, you know, big things and stuff based on karma because mine is good. And, you know, because I put a lot of work into it. And where it's not good, it should be neutral because that's what my chart says. I'm a karmic number 10. So I've been looking forward to it, but I think it's going to be good for all of us to be serious for a moment, not being silly. October 14th, this also is going to fall into this period, as I always give, you know, like 2 weeks worth of energy, I feel, attributed to each moon, the new moon and the full moon. So the 14th, Venus is in Libra. Right now, Mercury is in Libra. So I guess Venus will be joining Mercury in Libra. But then on the 17th, Mercury enters Scorpio. So it leaves Libra and enters Scorpio. It will be in Scorpio there with Jupiter at that point. But also as far as astronomy, I told you guys in the general reading that Mercury got the boot. Yeah, so in astronomy, Mercury got the boot from Venus. And she's cozying up with Mars. But in astrology, Mercury will be in Libra, which is ruled by Venus. So I guess he still find a way to get close to her. And then on the 19th, and I was trying to remember what the 19th was, and I had seen 1019, something good for one of my viewers, subscribers, clients, friends. And I told her, I said, 1019 is something I have to look it up because I see good things. That date popped up when I doing something for her, looking at something for her. And the other day, when I started the general reading, I said, it's 10:19 p.m. That came blurted out. So I knew I had to check it out. It's the new moon in Libra. So that carries us all the way through from, again, the 5th or today, the 3rd, because some of us will start to feel the energy of the full moon already from now. And it's also a good time from now to start any, if you do like full moon rituals or anything like that, you can start it from now. And like, I think the best time to do them would be between now and the 8th, you know, to get the most bang for your buck, as they say. And that's it. So with that, let's see what the dice say. And despite the fact that I threw the dice down on my table, I think I'm starting with the same exact dice that oh, this one has changed. I swear to you, this one was on massage before. It now says romantic dinner. So I don't know. Email. And buy shoes. I think those are the ones that I started with the other day too. Still buy shoes. Which I did already. I'm ahead of the game. I bought 2 pairs of shoes the other day. Romantic dinner. And try again. Ooh, Spirit says yes. So the answer is yes. And we had this come up in the general reading too. I think in the love reading as well. Yes. And I said some people are that for some that's yes to the romantic dinner. That's yes to a proposal. That's, you know, of any kind, not necessarily marriage, commitment, Can we talk? All of that. Yes. So I think that's still coming through. All right. So what I do with the energy deck. Here it is. Again, we are beginning with Jesus, Healer of the Ages, card number 51, or 6 equals love. And opening to the Magician and the Mirror in reverse. So I'm just going to turn it upright so you guys can see. And he goes back in reverse. Jesus. And action up front. Upright. Jesus, opposite action, up, both of them upright, I think, again, is the divine masculine taking action, which was also evident in the general and love readings. Hostilities, 26. So I said he combative even, right? Going to war. It looks like it's unfolding, just as I felt. Healer of the Ages, but happy family. This is what he's defending. Okay, the union. I did a spread on myself the other day. I was moved to do like one on myself, and I did it from that perspective of the universe, my cross spread, and the divine couple, me and my divine masculine, were represented by that card, family, and I think that that's gonna be. I think that's going to come through a lot, not just for me, but for the collective over the coming weeks. Like this, found 4, the number 4. And maybe that's one of the reasons I was meant to go over the significant events, because 4 or 1111 came up a few times there too. Anyway, Jesus, Healer of the Ages, and ooh, Goddess of the Moon. She always shows up without fail any and every time I do a moon reading, but I don't like to see her like this in reverse. Goddess of the Moon. This is how she looks upright. Healer of the Ages. I'm going to cut. And Deceit in reverse. I think the last card that I was looking at, I guess Goddess of the Ages, also equals 7. Oh well. I just saw Gabriel upright too. So there's communication. Yeah, toppling these people, these deceitful people. This may be a continuation from our last moon reading, because I think that that's when they first began to get taken down. And the overall energy is happy family, but it is in reverse. I don't think, however, that this applies to the divine couple. I think that this is to be taken more as the author intended this card to me. And when this card is in reverse, it's about like hostilities and distance between family members, close friends, our siblings, our parents, our children. And I think that that is coming into play for some of us, again, with the masculine defending the union, that there are people in his circle that don't support it. And I think that he's going again, up against it. He's bucking them. That's what I think. So I will do what we can do for ourselves and like external forces surrounding energies, and what the universe, what God wants us to know. And specifically from Archangel Michael in the middle. So what can we do? Door to value. This is that Jupiter. This is that. So maybe again, I guess with the full moon, I see a lot of this red here. So this can be Aries, the aggressiveness of Aries, or even Mars, the red planet coming through. But when I see this making it rain, the universe making it rain, right away I thought about Jupiter. So nice. We can expect abundance. Oh, and 4. This is a 4. This is a 4. And of course, our overall energy, happy family, albeit in reverse, it's a 4. Told you. I knew I was feeling 4. What else can we do? Adjacent possibilities. Some of us have a decision to make. We got options, though. If we want to look at it that way, from that perspective, we got options, and we can choose. What do we want to do? Through which door do we want to go? That may be where, for some of the hostilities come in, because it can be like, do I go through this door with my family and friends, or do I go through this door with my mate? What else? Walking away in reverse. This is how it looks upright. Oh, it should be in reverse though. And walking away in reverse can be about, it can be connected to this actually, because it can be about knowing that you need to walk away, similar to how the World card in the traditional tarot comes through for me often. That sort of long drawn out, it's time to get away from this, but we feel stuck, or it's a habit. We're comfortable in that. So it can be like, it's a habit to listen to my mom or to trust my best friend. They say this man isn't good for me, or this woman isn't good for me. It's a habit for me to be with this mate that I've been with, you know, this quote unquote karmic mate, even though it hasn't worked. You know, we sleep in different rooms and we can't stand one another, but you know, we got these kids together, and so I'm stuck here, like all those kind of things. So this can be one of the options, is to, of course, walk away. But right now, feeling stuck. So what we can do is break that fear. What we can do for ourselves is break that fear and take on that 9 of fire, 9 of wands energy that I was saying I feel in general as an overlying theme for this full moon, and, you know, push past and do what's best for us. Oh, and it's a 9. It's the 9 of fire. See how funny is that? Surrounding, indecision in reverse, which would indicate a decision is made. And this kind of does too. It's like, you know what you need to do. Decision really is made. You just haven't physically done anything. That's what you can do for yourself now. Get like moving on what you know is right for you. Angel of strength in reverse. This is the same thing. When strength is in reverse, it's like we have the strength, it's available to us, and we're not using it. So we got to harness this energy that is surrounding us. It is available to us. We got to grab it, and let it help us to walk away from wherever or whatever it is. We've been, you know, we feel like we've overstayed our welcome with it. What does God want us to know? Ah, door to romance is open. It's open and it's upright, just like the door to value. Because this also, and it's a 6. 6 equals love, as is this adjacent possibility. So choose the 6, basically, is what this is saying to me. Choose love. 9, these other things, as in endings. Let them end so that 9, born, can happen. Let something end, let something go, let something die so that something new can come. And it can be this. It can be this like renewed love and, you know, foundations, family. What else does God want us to know? Community, upright. So this is about with whom we surround ourselves. And he wants us to know, basically, that like the choice is ours. And we've made, we've made the choice already. These cards even have like similar colors for me, and a similar feel. This indecision in reverse in the community. We know with whom and what we need to surround ourselves. And what the universe is saying here is that, like, we can feel confident and comfortable and safe making those choices, making the choice for ourselves to walk away from some people who we would otherwise not, again, because they are our friends, supposedly. They are our family members. It could be siblings, parents, children. And, you know, these things can come back together another time, but like standing your ground, which is, again, what the Nine of Fire is about. What else does God want us to know? Deceit in reverse, yet again. So this is over. This kind of like, we're not tolerating this. There's a fly in here. I don't even know how that got in here. I guess maybe it came in the door with me from somebody else's place or something. Because my windows are always closed. I use the air conditioner. Anyway, I've told you guys how noisy it is here. I have to keep the windows closed, and I have the soundproof windows because of all the construction after 9/11. All right. In any case, getting back to this. Yeah, this is done. This is done. And God wants us to know. So again, we can feel confident. We can harness this strength and do what we have to do because we're being real with ourselves. The deceit, first and foremost, to ourselves is over. Like, we're not lying to ourselves about what we want. You know, we know what door we want to go through and with whom we want to go through it. We know. Heart of the Matter from Archangel Michael. Victory! Upright. Boom! This is what he wants us to know. We got this. Wow. What a way to start our reading. And it also aligns with what we saw all week. And again, the masculine in particular making moves. It got me all excited now. What am I going to do next? Let's do some love. Beginning with relationship and opening to blessings. Relationship and tantric union. Relationship. Oh, but there's sorrow, and this may come with from whom we need to walk away. And it may come with letting go of the fear too, and considering like what we could have lost. You know, if we were to not walk away from certain people, places, and things, what we could lose, and facing that deceit to ourselves of where we want to be and with whom and all that kind of stuff. That can come from that too. It can also come from some of like like it's okay to mourn the death of some of these things. You just don't want to get stuck in that energy, but it's okay to mourn, you know, take a moment and to feel some sorrow for friendships and things that are coming to an end. All right, so relationship and opening to guardian. Relationship. And lastly, transience, which for me is about healing from head to toe by the rays of the universe. Answered prayer also coming through. And maybe specifically as it relates to relationships. Earth connection. This could be the Saturn, the Capricorn that I was feeling. But more importantly, Earth connection has to do with abundance. It's a need to reconnect with Mother Earth for me, first and foremost. But that opens up the flow to abundance, the flow of abundance, which we already saw. It's already coming. Door to romance and door to value, upright for us. So I think that's another. This is another indication of that, reconfirmation of that, and we just have to be like receptive to it. And the overall energy is miracles. I don't even remember taking these cards out to use them, and these are not what I would typically use to do a love, like might be my focus of a love reading. but it is what it is. What's meant to be happens, right? It's masculine, crowned by reflection. So the need to look back, think back, and to look around your present, and to look forward toward your goals. And again, what do I want? Of what do I want to let go? What do I want to take with me? Where am I going? With whom? Why? All that. Aww, because he's surrounded by the energy of soulmate, just as turned up in the readings this weekend. It was full of love, the general and the love reading. And this is reconfirmation, because we will, again, this is going to cover the period of not only this week, for which I've already done the weekly readings, but another week out. Usually I tend to feel 2 weeks. And in the masculine subconscious, where it belongs, dreams. So again, thinking about what he wants, his goals, his dreams, and as they relate to this soulmate or divine connection that he has. Feminine. Forgiveness. This is going to be required in order for some of these, a lot of the feminine feeling that the masculine maybe hasn't defended her or their union in the past the way she would have hoped he would, at least. And if you want to move forward, even that, you got to let go. You got to let go and trust that that he will, if you want to move forward. Then if you don't, then obviously you don't have to do all that, but you should still extend the forgiveness, because forgiveness is really for the forgiver more so than it is for the forgivee. Extending forgiveness helps to heal you. It's your pressure that goes up if you're, harboring resentment and hate and things like that. It's you that has the heart attack, not the other person. So, in all cases, not just as it relates to the masculine, wherever that forgiveness is needed, extend it. And meditation for the feminine, another means of healing. And this meditation, if you can, I would do it outside. And it doesn't have to be done like this, certainly not naked, outside, or sitting Indian style. But, like whenever you can, do your meditation outside. A meditation can be whatever it is you enjoy, and that brings you peace and connection to the universe, like just you and them. That working on that friendship, that relationship with the universe, with God, that I talked about in the beginning. And then the feminine subconscious is the sorrow. So this is the resentment and the fear and the anger and the hurt, the pain, the regret, all the stuff onto which we're holding, that we need to let go and extend the forgiveness. So we're sort of boxed in here by these two, we're bookended, these two vibrations of Mary, basically, or of Isis, if you want to go even higher than that, Kuan Yin and Mary. With this one crowning with the forgiveness, and at the root of it, or what brings on the need for the forgiveness, is this, this stuff that we're carrying. And it's here, whether you want to claim it, admit it, or whatever, it's here in your subconscious, even if it's not, if you don't walk around with it in your conscious state, if you've blocked it out or whatever, some of these things that have happened to you. And that's the need for the meditation. That's the cause for the need for the meditation, so that you can bring some of these things to bear and then release them, let them go. Crowning the union. Golden path. I like it. Because as you know, this is the path toward healing for me. It's the yellow brick road. The yellow brick road, everybody that saw The Wizard of Oz, the yellow brick road leads to the Emerald City, while the golden path for me leads to the Emerald Ray. And the Emerald Ray is the ray of healing. The Emerald Ray is the ray of Archangel Raphael, who is God's healer. And therefore, he is our healer. And he also is sort of like the governor of the heart chakra. And in that sense and way, love. At the root, physical body. It's the need for surrender, and also this fire element. So our passions, what drives us, what makes us move, what invigorates our physical bodies. And for some, this is going to be, some hanky-panky too, coming up over this period with physical body and all these flames crossing soulmate with another nude physical body under a full moon. So that's what it means for some of us too. Getting busy after we release this stuff. You can't take this with you. Or maybe that'll help you to release some of the stuff and release a whole bunch of stuff. At the heart of the matter, boom, what'd I say? This is it right here. This is the coming together. And if you don't get to do it in the 3D, then your dreams, right? It'll come through that way. How awesome is this full moon and the next couple weeks going to be? And for some, it really will be a miracle. What's behind that? You got to see this, that air and water have come together peacefully, not like a tornado or a hurricane, peacefully in love. Eternal flames forever. Why? Because we have let go of, again, the hurt, the pain, our baggage. We've released something old to vacate the space for something new so that we can have our heaven on earth here. Listening to the messages from afar, the guidance that we receive from our guardian angels, from the universe, from God, whatever it is, and in whatever it is, we believe, whatever we believe that source is, that, highest energy is, listening to those messages, entering our sacred unions. They are so happy. They are so abundant. And it's cause for celebration, this birth of something new, right? Everything about which we're passionate, finally coming through for us. And on that note, I end because the next card is in the opposite direction. It is Trilogy of Light. And I think it's appropriate to end on this one with this full moon in the background behind this angel. I'm going to start a general spread, beginning with the Knight of Water. The Knight of Water is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. Opening to the King of Air. King of Air is brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic. This can be Venus, this can be Mercury, this can be you, right? Court cards tend to represent actual people. Knight of Water may be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. That last card I held up, that creativity card for me, is about water signs, and particularly Pisces, as well as Aquarius, which could be represented by this, the King of Air. King of Air is brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. Here goes your air and water too. Boom. King of Air. And opening to the Five of Air. There's the hostilities. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motive. So this is friends, family, people that have been keeping you from your love, keeping you from your life and your life's purpose and all of that kind of stuff. You finally get to tell them where to go, basically, with the King of Air opposite the Five of Air. King of Air, and one more. Seven of Earth. Seeds well planted. Just like I said in the beginning. A temporary pause in action may be happening for some of us. We might not see anything going on. You might think nothing's going on. That's unnecessary worry. Don't do that. We are about to harvest, underneath this harvest moon, everything that we've sown. King of Air, I'm going to cut. Boom, 9 of fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. So exactly what I said, except for instead of the 8 of earth, the 7 of earth popped up. But I did talk about those seeds well planted and the 9 of fire. Yep, you know what? That might be all I do with these angel tarot. Let me go to hashtag creepy deck on that note. Hashtag creepy deck beginning with spiritual growth. And that control in reverse. So we're cutting away the strings that connect us to the puppet masters. Freeing ourselves of manipulation through our spiritual growth. The Ice King also in reverse here. Ice King may be an air sign. Or a Leo maybe, or an Aries. Spiritual growth. Brunette female, nicely in reverse again. I've seen her in reverse the past few weeks. Spiritual growth. And there's the redhead, blonde female upright. And boom, twin flame. Spiritual growth. On that note, I'm going to cut. Fair male, or the love ring, or haven't seen the love ring rather. I ended, or close to the end, with that brunette female and the fair male both showing in reverse. So I think the fair male actually was upright and the brunette female was in reverse, but they were together. They were both in view at the same time. So I don't think it's a mistake that that the fair male is turning up now on the heels of the brunette female. In any case, he's here in reverse. And I'm going to get our overall energy. The divine couple. The recent past. The masculine higher self. The near future. Blocks to the union. What the feminine can do, what the masculine can do. Further advice from the universe. And the outcome. Overall energy is destiny. Divine couple. Obstacles. Interesting. And also not, because this is what we've been up against, right? And this is what we've been talking. And again, what I feel right now is this push past the obstacles. So I think that that's what's coming through with this card now. The divine couple represented by this, because now is going to be, with this full moon, is this time we're pushing past our obstacles. We're just knocking everything down. It's, well, yeah, it's like football, you know, we're just powering ahead and tackling anything that gets in our way. The recent past. Boom. This chick. Recent past. That means she's she's over. The near future. Friendship. And I don't think that this is only for the couple. Again, I think this is friendship with the universe. And friendships that develop into more, too, with this wedding band coming through. Masculine higher self. Dating under the full moon. How awesome is this? Blocks to the union. Lack of communication. Let's get on this. Let go of that fear that we saw pop up in the other spread, and, you know, harness that strength that we saw in the other spread, and pick up the phone and get to dialing. Be the king of air, right? You can say what you have to say. What the feminine can do. gifts. And what this is coming through as is not necessarily physical gifts. For some of you, it may be. But for others, this is being able to give and receive is what the feminine has to work on. Like the Six of Earth. And the Six of Earth is Venus for me. At least in the Angel Tarot. In this particular deck, the Doreen Virtue Angel Tarot. The way the card is, it's an Earth card, obviously. So it's green. And it's outdoors. And then in the middle, there's this scale. This gold scale. Like the scales of balance. Like Justice, Libra. And Venus does rule both Taurus and Libra. So that card represents her for me, and the energy of unconditional love and being able to give and receive. That's what's coming through here with this gifts card. And you know what? It's saying that like it's to give and receive communication too, and being open. So this has to do with the feminine letting go of that resentment and sorrow and hurt as well, in order to be able to open up the flow for this. And what can the masculine do? Yeah, chuck the past love. So not a mistake. This is here crossing this karmic chick. Goodbye to both of them. Hello communication. Hello dating under the full moon. And further advice from the universe. There's Raphael too. Sirens in the background. We haven't heard that in a while. But there he is with the healing in this area. And further advice from the universe is mature woman. So this is onto whom we're moving. You know, when for some of us, this is who, you know, we're becoming and into whom we've grown. Mature woman. And the outcome. Boom. Spiritual growth. As I'm saying, into whom we've grown. Here's the growth right here. This is going to be such an awesome time. I am psyched. All right, maybe I should just do the advice now. Oh, and look. This wants to be seen. The sun with Archangel Uriel. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. Okay. So again, for the feminine, beginning with Isis and mothering and opening to another vibration of that, Hathor and pleasure. This could be that hanky-panky too. Hathor is a little more frisky. Isis. And Nukua, order. Isis. Nice. Here's the Venus, the Libra, the Mat, and, or Ma'at, really is how you pronounce it, Justice. Isis. And Artemis, selfhood. The feminine taking herself into consideration. This looks very Aries also, with the hunter here. This is the hunter moon as well. There's a big moon back there behind her. Isis. And the Sphinx, challenge, being the ability to tackle them. Whoop. And feminine. Vila, shape-shifting with changing woman and cycles as the overall energy. For the masculine, again, we're beginning with Anubis and protection and opening to Lu, skill. Vishnu rather, balance just jumped out too. Anubis, protection. And Odin, guidance. Raphael, back. Outside again. Odin, guidance. Ganesha, obstacles. Knocking them down. Raphael getting louder and louder. Ganesha, obstacles. And Mithras, sacrifice. This is the masculine at war. This is our soldier boy. So it's our job as the feminine to wait for him. It wasn't I will wait for you. It was I'll be true to you, as in loyal. That's what it was. My little soldier boy, I'll be true to you. Yes. So you guys can look that up if you're interested in that song and see what the lyrics are. I think I will too. Ganesha, obstacles. And back to Anubis, protection. So on that note, I'll cut. Did I cut the feminine's cards? I think I just went to shuffling in my hand. I didn't cut them. Nuada, perfection. And this is the masculine trying to be all things to all people, and you know, realizing that that can't be done, and you're gonna have to like pick one. And the overall energy is Hermes and communication. So masculine, that block to the union, that lack of communication, that may be more so on you, and it might be time for you to pick up the phone and communicate. And I think that may have been what came through in the one of the other readings for the week as well. Hermes, of course, Mercury, thought, Maat's husband. And your card is, ooh, focus. So I'm going to read these. Ooh, focus. Clear-mindedness and focused intent are necessary for success right now. You need stamina for long-term projects. In the blanket of white that is the snowfield, a figure with a bow waits. How Aries is this? He is camouflaged against his enemies. He is the picture of stillness, hardly moving, but when he does, it is with deliberate grace and absolute surety. The sure, clear-eyed gaze runs along the straightness of the arrow. The arrow's tip dully glows against the flush of the fingers holding it steady. Without ado, with complete ease, the figure releases the bowstring, and there is a hiss of energy, and then the dull thump of the arrow impacting deep into its target. Then, and only then, does the bowman breathe out. Only then does he move to become a more leather-clad deity than a snowman. As he rises to his full height, we see Ul, Norse god of marksmen. Ul is a very old deity associated with Germanic and Scandinavian peoples. Being a great marksman could mean the difference between eating and an empty belly, or between killing and dying. So Ul is an important god to have on your side. Should you be going out to hunt something, how appropriate is this with the hunter's moon and the warlike feeling I was getting about the soldier-like feeling I was getting about the masculine. So should they be going out to hunt something? Think beyond hunting animals, it says. To trap an idea, maybe. To chase a goal, yes. Or to travel in harsh environments. Whether that means physical snowfields or emotional minefields, which is through what I think some of ours will be going through. You would call upon Ul for focus, the focus required for success. It is Ul who invented skiing and snowshoeing, and ancient artwork depicts him with sleds and skis. Today, Ul is a popular god of skiing. Some modern Nordic Olympians wear symbols of Ul on their clothes and equipment. It's certainly worth saying a few prayers to him next time you wish to tackle a harder than usual ski run. I just use the word tackle, not with regard to skiing, but football and tackling our, obstacles. So I think that's coming back here. This is confirmation of that. Call on Ul, masculine, when you need more focus and clarity in your life. No matter how harsh the terrain, literal or emotional, Ul can get you through to where you wish to be. He can lend you the stamina you need to complete a task when there are distractions, obstacles, or haters all around you. What? If this ain't what I was talking to you all about before I laid any cards, I don't know what is. He is the essence of calm centeredness and will help you to achieve what you wish to achieve with a minimum fuss. There's a shadow side to Ul, though. Here it is. Focus is generally a good thing. However, if we focus on one thing and one thing only to the exclusion of all else, so if we ignore maybe the adjacent possibilities, this can become an issue. In the long term, we all know people who focus wholly on school and forget they have friends or other commitments. This is the shadow side of being focused. So it's like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, basically. Make sure you have balance, the balance of air and water, for example, in your life, in all areas, so that you have work, but you also have play. Symbols of Ul are a bow and arrow, skiing, and sleds. I think that was perfect for you. All right, and for the feminine, I opened right to it. Vila, shape-shifting. I dance from form to form. I shift from shape to shape, ever-changing, ever-expanding, ever-becoming. I am flexibility. For by changing my form, I freely flow with all that comes my way. I am consciousness. For by shifting my shape, I gain an expanded awareness of what it is to be. I waltz a whirlwind, tango a tree, salsa a swan, or just plain foxtrot. My dance is an affinity with all, for I am able to become all in order to know all. Becoming all dissolves form. Knowing all creates oneness. The illusion is that you have to separate shape. Vila is the Eastern European name for the goddess energy moving through the earth as nature. So I talked about this. I talked about the need for us to get out into nature and feminine, and for us specifically to meditate and in nature whenever we're able to. Also, I noticed in that poem, they mentioned the word or used the word expanding or expansion, expanded a couple of times. And I talked about how Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and that Jupiter in Scorpio and what will be expansion in a lot of our lives in a lot of different areas, aspects, does fall within this period. Okay, so Vila is the Eastern European name for the goddess energy moving through the earth as nature. Vili, V-I-L-Y, is a plural way of using this word, and they are very protective of their terrain, and they use their arrows, so more arrows, more Aries coming through. They use their arrows of death on those who trespass. They are consummate shapeshifters, able to change into animals such as snakes, swans, falcons, and horses. They love to play and dance. If contacted in the forest on a moonlit night, so here comes the full moon, right? The moonlit night, they might grant health, wealth, abundant crops, or they might, if shown disrespect, dance the offender to death. Meaning of the card. Vila has come dancing into your life in her many forms to teach you to nourish wholeness. by learning to shapeshift. Have you been too long in one form? Are you feeling stiff and stagnant, losing flexibility in your way of thinking or being? Or perhaps you feel that the human is the most important being in creation, that the rocks, trees, animals, earth, etc. are lesser forms. It's time to expand your awareness, to enhance your flexibility by gaining the perspective of other forms. Vila says the way to wholeness lies in experiencing the whole of creation. Wow. I think that was phenomenal. I hope you guys agree. I hope you enjoyed it and find it helpful. Namaste, angels.